come in tonight at 49 and 78. They are 23 and 39 here at home, and they're looking to get back even in the season series with the Kansas City Royals. Royals leading the American League Central by 2.5 games as we start play tonight. Here's the Royals batting order. Gerard Dyson leads off. He's the center fielder. Omar Infante plays second and bats second. Alex Gordon is in left. Billy Butler, the cleanup man, at first base. Josh Willingham is the DH. He has been hot ever since he came over to Kansas City. Mike Moustakas at third. Eric Kratz is the catcher. Lorenzo Cain in right field. And the shortstop, Alcides Escobar, bats ninth.
And our Sonic scouting report for Nick Tepesch. 16 games, 15 of them starts for the Rangers. 4-7. His ERA is down to 4.15. His last 3 starts have gone well. 1-0, a couple of no decisions, but a great ERA, 1.83. Opponents only hitting 235 against him. And an interesting note on Nick, he's tied for the second most pickoffs in the American League with 4. That I didn't know. I learned something tonight in that scouting report.
There you go.
The other thing I guess, Buzz, we should say about him is he's been very consistent in his last 4 or 5 starts.
Now we'll take a look at the Rangers defense. It's delivered to you tonight by the New Braunfels Convention and Visitors Bureau. Outfield has Adduci and left, Martin in center. Alex Rios back in the lineup defensively in right field. J.P. Arancibia that started first. Odor and Andrews up the middle. Adrian Beltre at third. Robinson Chirinos again catching with the 25-year-old right-hander Nick Tepesch on the hill tonight. Second time that Nick Tepesch has faced the Kansas City Royals. Faced them once last year. That was a Rangers win in 10 innings. Nick Tepesch worked 6 1/3 in that ball game and did not give up an earned run. Had a couple of strikeouts. So he has something positive to draw from last year's account. And here's Gerard Dyson, and Tepesch fires strike 1.
Well, that ball dropped. That looked like a changeup. It was a 90-mile-an-hour sinker. Dyson thought it was low, but it was only low where the catcher caught it. Looked like it went by him, by the plate, high enough. Get some ground balls if he can feature that pitch all night long.
Dyson, as you see, a 287 hitter, a home run, and 19 RBI. 1 ball, 1 strike, 96 degrees here at first pitch. Breeze coming in from right center field out of the south-southeast, about 7 or 8 miles an hour. The 1-1 from Tepesch. Odor, off-balance throw on the money.
He's getting very good at that play, and he had no margin for error. The way Dyson can run, he can fly down that line. And Rubned knew that as he went after the ball. But we've seen him make that play on a pretty consistent basis, going toward second, throwing on the run, going toward shortstop, getting something on the ball. So nice way to start the game and keep Dyson off the base paths.
Yeah, Mark McLemore pointed out something, Tom, that is evident there, that the use of the hips, of opening up the hips to make that an easier throw for him. He said, you know, if you do that technically right, he's got a strong enough arm to make that throw. But he said most guys don't let their hips open up. They try to throw across their body.
Well, so there's a good word of wisdom from a former doctor of defense that the rest of us wouldn't have known if we didn't hear it from him. So
exactly right.
I'm glad I know that now.
Omar Infante now with a 2-ball, no strike count. Infante still the team leader with 57 RBI, hitting at 255, a half dozen home runs. Tepesch back to the plate, and it's popped up. Elvis Andrews angling out into foul territory, now puts the brakes on and makes the catch. He's smiling at Adrian Beltre. Adrian probably trying to help him out.
Yeah, he's saying, how come you weren't camped underneath that one trying to distract me? It's too far away from you.
No, that is out number 2 very quickly for Nick Tepesch and company. Now Alex Gordon will step in. That's a constant dialogue going on between those two.
It is.
That's great. Alex Gordon moving up from the 5th spot to the 3rd spot tonight. Ball 1 is outside. 282 the average for Gordon. 14 home runs along with the 56 RBI. He hits a towering drive down the right field line, deep into the corner, and off the foul pole. It is a home run.
I think that's the third ball that the Rangers have had hit the foul pole this year. It's high. You hope it's hooking a little bit. It probably was hooking, but it needed to hook another foot to be foul. Stayed fair for first run of the ball game.
Alex Gordon's 15th home run of the year. He's now tied with Salvador Perez for the team lead. And this was a moonshot.
Well, it's one of those sinkers that never got down and away. Instead, it catches the middle of the plate and the middle of his bat.
A 1-0 Kansas City, a 381-foot blast. That had some hang time right at the top of the foul pole. Pitch to Billy Butler now. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Boy, it's hooking, but that fence needed, that foul pole needed to be about 5 feet deeper.
Yeah, 330 instead of 326, and it might have been foul.
Yeah.
1-2. Butler had a home run in last night's ball game. Royals, the fewest home runs in the major leagues with 81 now, but they've had 26 in their last 30 ball games. A little better pace for Kansas City as Butler shoots 1 foul. And you go back over those last 30 games, the last 29 games for Kansas City that they have played, they're 23-6. And the home run becoming part of their offensive weaponry. Billy Butler having a good road trip thus far. He hits one to left field, going toward the line. Jim Adduci, ball hanging up for him, and Adduci makes the grab. That will do it, but Alex Gordon with a towering home run gets Kansas City on the board after half inning. It's the Royals 1, the Rangers coming up. The Royals with the first inning home run on top 1-0 as the Rangers come to bat here in the bottom of the first. Southwest Airlines batting order for your Rangers tonight looks like this. Shin-Soo, the DH, will start things off. Elvis Andrus is next, and it's Alex Rios. Adrian Beltre bats cleanup. Leonis Martin in center. J.P. Arancibia at first. Jim Adduci in left. Robinson Trinos bats 8th and catches. And the second baseman, Ruben Odor, bats 9th.
We'll look at the Sonic scouting report for Jeremy Guthrie, veteran right-hander, solid middle of the rotation guy.
And Chu a drive to deep left center field. Goodbye.
I didn't even get my scouting report in.
It might change now.
That's rude.
Oh, that's Chu.
Oh, that's Chu.
Home run number 13. We're all dead even at 1.
Well, that's not the first time we've seen Chu show that kind of power to left center field. He's got excellent power that way. He's hit 13 home runs. Probably 5 or 6 of them have been just like this. That's a pitch right out over the plate. First pitch of the ball game, and he's not up there taking. He's up there driving that ball right out of the ballpark to left center field. The Rangers answer the home run with one of their own.
Yeah, that's Chu's second leadoff home run this year. Well, we are now dead even with Elvis up there, and he takes low for ball 1. And Elvis fouls back the next pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Guthrie is a little bit home run prone. That's the 22nd home run he's given up in 158 innings. Tied for the 4th most in the American League. Last 3 road starts, he's won all 3 of them. Opponents have hit below 200, and he's got a great ERA. And the Rangers will change that. He hasn't pitched that great in this ballpark. His ERA is over 5 in this ballpark.
High and tight. And 2 balls and a strike. Elvis at 271, a couple of home runs, and 32 RBI, 8 for 19 against Jeremy Guthrie. And Elvis, a hot shot to the right at Moustakas, the third baseman. 1 gone. So Elvis grounds out, and now Guthrie will work to Alex Rios. in the lineup defensively. The DH last night has been battling an ankle issue and also a jammed thumb on his right hand. Well, Ron Washington giving him a partial day yesterday, and he's back in there defensively tonight with Shin-Soo Choo taking the DH chores over. Rios now with 52 RBI, second on the ball club to Adrian Beltre. 0-1 pitch. That will even the count. 285 for Alex for the year, 4 home runs. He's had a couple of home runs in his career against Guthrie. In the air to right field, Lorenzo Cain went back a couple steps, comes in a couple of steps, and that is out number 2. And let's take a look at the Royals defense tonight, brought to you by Progressive. Saw part of the outfield, that being Lorenzo Cain in right. Gerard Dyson at center, Alex Gordon at left. Billy Butler at first, Omar Infante, and Alcides Escobar up the middle. Mike Moustakas at third. Eric Kratz is behind the plate with Jeremy Guthrie on the mound. A strike to Beltre. Adrian, another multi-hit game last night. 2 hits and batting mark up to 323. Little toe tap dance there. That fastball getting real tight on Adrian. Beltre 17 home runs, 65 driven in. He shoots that one foul off the screen in front of the Royals dugout. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Saw the numbers, Beltre against Guthrie, not what you would quite expect, just 7 for 35. Guthrie, a wily veteran, a 35-year-old former All-American out of University of Stanford. 1-2 pitch. Moustakas behind the bag, sets, throws, got it. Well, the leadoff home run by Shin-Soo Choo pulls the Rangers even. We played 1 at Globe Life Park. It's the Rangers 1 and the Royals 1 on Fox Sports Southwest. The Royals and Rangers trading solo home runs, a run apiece, and we head to the top of the second inning. Josh Willingham to lead things off, Mike Moustakas and Eric Kratz to follow. Willingham had also a home run last night. He and Billy Butler, the 2 home runs for the Royals in last night's win. Willingham with a pair of home runs in a Royals uniform. Came over on the 11th of August from the Twins. A 344 average in a Kansas City uniform, 227 overall for Willingham.
And baseball is it's such a funny sport. You can kind of be stuck in a rut with a team and the team's not going anywhere and you're doing your best, but it's just not working for you, and all of a sudden you come to a team that's right in the middle of a pennant race. The fans are energized, the city's energized, the young players are all pumped up, and all of a sudden you feel like you've got a new lease on life, and you end up starting a nice little streak where you're playing better than you were in your old team, for your old team.
Yep. The 1-2 from Tepesh. Couldn't get into offer at that breaking ball, and it's 2-2. Yeah, that's all part of that change of scenery thing.
Change of scenery, yeah. And it's, I guess the cynical way some people might look at it is, well, why didn't you try that hard for your other team? It's not a matter of trying hard. It's just something that happens. You just get that little extra bit of energy, extra bit of confidence, emotion. Games are more meaningful. Brings out the best in you.
Nick Tepesh trying to get that inside corner and just missed to Willingham. Well, the count is full. Willingham trying to get aboard to start off this second inning. Mike Moustakas, the third baseman, waits to be next. Now the payoff pitch. Chopper to third. Beltre backs up to get the big hop and fires a strike to Aaron Sebia. And let's go over and welcome in Jim Knox. Jim.
All right, Buzz. Nice crowd here tonight. Rooting the Rangers on, having some fun. You bet. Community Corner this evening. We're talking about the Texas Rangers Baseball Foundation teaming up with Medical Center Arlington for the past 10 years, developed that great all-star fitness programs. Well, they have partnered up on a new DVD to help motivate fifth graders on how to stay fit. To find out more information, log on to texasrangers.com/fitness. Buzz?
All right, Jim, thank you. Moustakas, a big swing and a miss on the first pitch from Nick Tepesh, 0-1. Moustakas, a 205 average, but 14 home runs and 48 RBI. Has been doing some damage. Taps this one by the mound. Odor, a little sidearm flip. And he gets Moustakas for out number 2. Rudnett had to kind of re-grip that ball very quickly.
Yeah,
he tried to get it out of his glove.
I was getting worried he wasn't going to be able to do it. I don't know that he threw it with 2 fingers. He might have thrown a palm ball over there, but he got it there. Let's see if we can tell. Yeah, it's hard to tell, but luckily he didn't have a long throw to make. It didn't really matter. Nope, he's got 2 fingers on it.
And the first pitch to Eric Kratz is in for strike 1. Kratz, backup catcher, a veteran that the Royals went out and acquired after Hayes had to go on the disabled list. Kratz has done some damage. He has a couple of home runs. Filled in last week for Salvador Perez. Perez had to leave the game with some knee soreness, and Kratz came on and had his first career 2 home run game. And they both came on first pitches. So you'll notice that Nick Tepesh didn't throw one right down the middle first pitch.
Had an advanced scout watching that.
And out on 3 pitches. Nick Tepesh gets the punch out. Royals gone in order. So Tepesh and the Rangers handle the second. After 1.5, we are tied at 1. Now it's time for you to tweet your photo for a chance to have it shown on one of our upcoming broadcasts, and that's all thanks to the good folks at AT&T. Simply use hashtag SouthwestFanPhoto, and your photo might be selected to be aired during one of our upcoming broadcasts. We will show you our selection for tonight a little bit later on. Leonis Martin leading off the Rangers second. A 1-1 ball game. Leonis pulls one, a little humpback liner out to second. Infante a step to his right. That is out number 1. Now J.P. Arancibia. Well, Jeremy Guthrie, who needed 12 pitches to work through that first inning, gave up the leadoff home run on the first pitch to Shin-Soo Chu, but then retired Andres Rios and Beltre. Gets Martin to start here, and now J.P. A 178 average, but 8 home runs and 30 RBI. And first ball swinging, this has popped up. Billy Butler, remembering last night, played back a little bit further as that ball came down.
Look, I love it. I love it. There you go, fans, see? And that's for the fans. That's for my teammates on the bench. Relax. The ball goes up. I can catch it.
What he was saying is, why does the ball find me?
There you go. You're welcome. Put that one on the highlight reel after the game.
Oh, man. Now 2 away very quickly. Here's Jim Adduci. Adduci at 167 with the average. Pitch from Guthrie is high for a 1-1 count. Jim, as we told you last night, really scuffling right now, trying to get one to fall in. He is in the midst of an 0 for 25. Hit the ball hard a couple of times last night. He's hit the ball hard several times in the last few days and just can't find an open spot. Tops one down to first. Butler near the bag will step on first, and it's a 7-pitch inning for Jeremy Guthrie. He dispatches the Rangers in order. We have flown through a couple of innings here. It's the Rangers 1 and the Royals 1 on Fox Sports Southwest. Well, welcome back to Globe Life Park, a 1-1 ball game as we head to the top of the third, and we have the distinct pleasure of entertaining the newest member of the Texas Rangers Baseball Hall of Fame, Ambassador Tom Schiefert. Congratulations, sir. That a fantastic ceremony and a great speech.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a wonderful moment for me, and I really enjoy being back here. You guys have got a good seat. I forgot about it. I don't get to sit up here anymore.
Well, this is what you designed for us. That's why it's such a great viewing. I got a kick out of your comments about not having an arm or speed or couldn't hit very well, and you still got to the Hall of Fame.
Well,
it's a great country, isn't it?
I sneaked in the back door is what I did.
That's okay.
You know, all the guys in the truck that direct the cameras and all the technical parts of our broadcast would be disappointed if I didn't thank you for them. They talk about the meetings that you had to make sure that all the sight lines for the cameras allowed them to have a perfect view of the stadium. That was something that was important to you, evidently.
It was, because you have so many fans that are not at the ballpark.
Right.
And what we tried to do wherever we looked in the ballpark is we wanted to be that to be the best experience that you could have in baseball. If you were in the bleachers, we wanted it to be the best bleacher seat. If you were behind home plate, the best, the suites, the top row, all of that. But most importantly, the folks that are not at the ballpark, and they're millions, you want them to be able to see the game as best as it can be presented. And the truth of the matter is the technology today is so much better than it was even when we opened the ballpark. You really have a great feeling with high definition television that you're there.
Tom, you told a story at the luncheon yesterday of your charge to Mr. Schwartz, who designed the stadium, and what he should think about when he did the designing it. Could you share that again?
Sure. It came out of a couple of stories that happened to me, and it was, we had fan forums, as y'all recall, which we asked people to tell us what they wanted in the ballpark. And so many people told me about their first major league game, and I talked to my brother one night. I don't want to get in the way of the game here, but I talked to my brother one night, and I told him that. I said, you can't believe all these people talk about their first game that they've been there. But I have to admit, I remember perfectly when Mother took me to the Yankee Stadium in 1959 to the Old Timers game. Joe DiMaggio, Dizzy Dean, Pee Wee Reese, they all played in the Old Timers game. And then Mickey Mantle, who was my favorite player, played for the Yankees in center field. And in right field with the Kansas City Athletics was Roger Maris.
Sure.
The next year they traded him to the Yankees, and the next year he hit 61. And my brother said, well, Mother and Daddy, before you were born, took me to Fenway Park. Uh-oh. That's good. Not good. Nope. Before you were born, Mother and Daddy took me to Fenway Park, and Ted Williams hit a home run in the bottom of the ninth, and the Red Sox won 3-2. So when we got with the architects, I told them those two stories, and I said, what we want you to know is that you have an opportunity to do something that people will remember the rest of their lives. And we want to build a ballpark that will justify those memories. And I think that's what they did.
No doubt about it. That might have been a base hit, whether he caught it or not.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, and it's amazing that Tom and I talk about our experiences on the air and off the air quite a bit. And it's amazing how similar they are, and we were on different parts of the country. Growing up, I think we all share those things.
But somebody is here tonight. Some kid, somebody is here tonight for the first time to see their first major league game.
Sure.
And I guarantee you they will always remember it.
Yep, exactly right.
And that's, sometimes when it gets hot and you're in a losing streak, you say, well, does it matter? Well, it does matter, because it might be the only night that they'll be there. And it might be the first night, and you want them to go home remembering you well.
Well, that idea, the designers and got that idea, and they got it across. And from what we can tell, I think they fulfilled your desire to have that accomplished in this park.
They did, to my satisfaction. And one of the things that is always touching to me is I come to as many games as I can. I travel so much now I can't get to as many as I used to.
Play by Alex.
Boy, Alex.
Not an easy play, and that's something that you guys designed into the ballpark, that little nook and cranny down the right field line, isn't it?
Yeah, because we thought if we just slice that off, there was going to be somebody that would hit a home run in there that would make a difference. Unfortunately, the first person to discover it was Bernie Williams in 1996. And I prefer not to call it the Williams corner.
Yeah.
Well, I think Norm Hitchcock nicknamed it the wedgie, and that's kind of not what you had in mind. But
we got a wedgie that game. We lost that game. Yeah.
The other story you told, Tom, was the national anthem for the first game being the greatest national anthem maybe ever, and what went into the thought behind that.
People say to me, I was there on opening day. They don't remember who won, but they remember that Van Cliburn played the national anthem and then sang it afterwards. And I thought it would be a great story, just the juxtaposition of a great concert pianist that's known all over the world to walk into the ballpark in tails and to walk up to a grand piano. And the grand piano, if you remember, was over first base. And he's just ramrod straight when he walks up there, and he's so dignified. And the Fort Worth Symphony is out there to accompany him, and they all have Ranger caps on and tuxedos. And he sits, he flips those tails back with, and he sits down and then sits down and plays the national anthem. And it was amazing. It was amazing that the ballpark, if you'll remember, it just went silent. And by the end, they were hanging on every note.
That was a great moment.
Yeah.
Mayor Green's pitch was a little low, but it's okay. He had punch back there to catch it.
I still remind him of that. And Richard is the greatest guy in the world. He practiced a lot. And I don't do first pitches, and there's a reason.
Well, that could have been one of the all-time greatest anthems. Might not have time to talk about it. Let's see.
Yeah. All right. There we go.
You stay another half inning, Tom?
Sure. Good. All right. Thank you. Well, that unusual double play takes the Royals out of the inning. We'll go to the bottom of the third. It's a 1-1 game, Royals and Rangers.
So Brewers GM Doug Melvin in town for Schieffer's an induction, and if he's watching his Brewers from a suite, he is not happy. In Milwaukee, it's 2-0 Brewers in the fourth until Pedro Alvarez blasts his first of 2 home runs on the night as Pirates have opened it up, guys. 8-2, top 5 in Milwaukee.
All right, Aaron, thank you very much. Back here at Globe Life Park, a 1-1 ball game. We're joined by the newest member of the Texas Rangers Baseball Hall of Fame, Ambassador Tom Schieffer, and talking about in between innings about the development of the park, how many little things went into it that none of us realized, but certainly had to be talked about. Just angles, different sight lines, and all that. And this is one of the more modern parks as far as the seats being angled at the right. How much effort did it take to get all that right?
A lot. Yeah. The secret, I went up to Boston and at the end of the season. They were in the playoffs, and the guy, public relations guy that was meeting me, he said, look, I'm really busy. and let me tell you the secret to Fenway Park. Go down the left field line, stand there and look where the seats are, and you'll feel like you're on the third baseman's shoulders. Mm-hmm. And he said that's the secret of Fenway Park, because they crank the seats back toward the mound.
Right.
And so we did that, and if you'll go down there and look at it, not only will the rows crank toward it, inside the row there will be, at the end of the row, there will be a little triangle that puts the seat even further. So there is a seat down there where the ball girl is and the security guard is down there. If you sit in that seat, you'll swear that you're inside the foul line, not outside. And we love the idea of and Alex Rios caught a ball over there, and you can't see that, and that was intentional because you can bring the seats closer there, but it creates blind spots. And we thought it would be great to be sitting down there and the ball goes in one of those blind spots and you don't know whether it's caught or not, and and then it comes bouncing out, and it just kind of adds to the anticipation of the play.
Yeah, we've had to have pauses every once in a while when that happens.
Yeah.
Don't know what to tell the folks.
But the good announcer
Yeah,
he can fill, you know. You got to have talent wherever you sit in the ballpark.
The key phrase being good. No, it's a lot of fun, and you get used to seeing the cameras, looking at the cameras down there, so it all works out. But that's one of the things about this ballpark that's completely unique.
I must admit that I cheat a little bit now. There was not a television in front of where my seats are. I can see one now, so sometimes I kind of look down there.
Sure. We're talking about throwing out the first pitch and the great national anthem, one of the greatest national anthems. One of the greatest first pitches ever was the one that President Bush threw out at Yankee Stadium after 9/11.
Yeah.
And I know you know all about that, but the question would be, what was it like working with him before he became governor and president?
Well, this sounds strange, but it was the same. He was the same person all the way through. And one of the frustrations I had during his presidency is I never really thought that George Bush that I knew the public got to know.
Right.
And I think it was because of the pressures of the office and whatnot. But that first pitch, he had opened Miller Park. Had opened that year, and the commissioner asked him to throw the first pitch out, and so he went out there and he bounced it in. And so the secretary told me before I went in to see him, I came back from Australia, and she said, "Don't mention the first pitch." He's really sensitive about that. But of course, that was a red flag in front of a bull, you know. And so I have to say he's president of the United States, and you know, presidents, you kind of talk to them different or whatever. So I gently brought it up. I said, you know, I guess it was really hard throwing out that first pitch with that bulletproof vest on and everything. He said, no, I just joked. He said Davy Lopes was standing up there. He looked like an ant. So when he went to 9/11, after 9/11, and, you know, he was a pitcher at Yale. So, I mean, he had been around baseball and loved baseball and played baseball. But throwing it from up there on the mound is tougher than throwing it on that flat ground, and people don't realize it. And so he said he was going to cheat a little bit because of the Miller Park experience, and he kind of ran it by Jeter. He just said, no, man, this is New York. You don't throw it in the front, they're going to boo you. You know? and, you know, I think that was probably the greatest first pitch in the history of baseball.
I agree.
Because there's never been more pressure than right then.
And a better moment.
No.
Sir, thank you very much for joining us.
Always
congratulations.
Thanks, Buzz.
It's
a great honor, and I really appreciate it. Tom,
thanks, Tom.
Thanks for your remarks, too.
You're welcome.
Great.
Well deserved.
1-1. We're going to the fourth.
Thanks.
Well, welcome back to Globe Life Park. We head to the top of the fourth inning, a 1-1 ball game. Nick Tepesh back to the hill. A very well-pitched game by both parties so far. Joining us now, another member of the Texas Rangers Baseball Hall of Fame, Rusty Greer. Rusty, good to see you.
Good to see you guys.
Big night out here.
I haven't been up here in a while.
Yeah, big night out here tonight.
Huge night out here tonight. For Tom Schieffer to be inducted is great. You know, he did so much for the organization, and this is his legacy right here, I think. And it's a great night for him. It's a great night for the Texas Rangers.
You know, and speaking about that, before I forget it, ooh, look out, Nick. Odor, a jump throw. He's been watching Elvis a little bit. Nice job by Rougned Odor. That is out number one. Get one more look at Rougned. From a player standpoint, now you kind of grew up during that area as a Ranger. How much of an impact did building this place, did having the franchise gain all that credibility and national focus mean to you as a player?
Well, for me, I got called up in '94. Ballpark was brand new. Exciting place to play. In '94, it was sold out every single night.
Right.
We had a perfect game here in '94. A lot of good things happened. '96, the first playoff. And to have all that happened within a period of 2 or 3 years, I think it did give credibility to the organization, to the front office, to the players that were on the field, and I think it's began to establish the fact that the Texas Rangers could climb and make a way for themselves.
So that's not just a bunch of hype that we tend to, up here in the booth, tend to talk about, that it really was a palpable feeling for you guys.
Well, yes, it is not a bunch of hype. And I think, and I said this yesterday, I think that Tom Schieffer did a really good job of creating a family atmosphere for the players. And a lot of players came here, still live here. And so that tells you right there they enjoyed it. They enjoyed their time here. But you know, for Tom, he knew everybody's name, their kids' names, and that makes it good for a player to come to the park and know that their owner's sitting right down there in the front row with them every single day.
Yeah. A base hit by Alex Gordon, who's now 2 for 2 with a home run and now a single, 1 on, 1 out for Billy Butler.
So you played with the Rangers in '94 and '95. Could you see the light at the end of the tunnel that led to the '96 season, or did that hit everybody by surprise?
I think it caught some people by surprise because '94, I mean, that was a good team, but I think we were 10 games under 500 and still in first place.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That'll work. How about staying the next half?
I'll do it.
You're too quick for us. All right. Back-to-back double play grounders will go after 3.5, a 1-1 tie. Texas Rangers baseball on Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find Southwest Airlines fares online only at southwest.com. And by the all-new Mazda 3 with seamless connectivity. Beautiful night at Globe Life Park. We're joined by Hall of Famer Rusty Greer, and he's talking a little Rangers baseball back in the 90s. We see every night up on the scoreboard, Chuck Morgan makes it a point in this 20th anniversary year to have Kenny Rogers the last out of his perfect game. You're making that jumping catch that you've said that you almost overran. Is that?
Yes, sir. I almost did. Well, and people don't know that the baseball, when it's rubbed up in the concrete facade, it blends in with it. And so I've said this: when you see an outfielder look like he doesn't get a good jump, it's because he's lost the ball for just a second. And that's what happened on that last play. The ball went through the facade, and I lost it. And I said, just stay here, and it'll come out, and it did. And fortunately, I didn't miss it. Talk about a short career.
You're talking about the '96 season and how it kind of snuck up on you.
Yeah, '94, we're 10 games under, still in first place when the strike happened. '95, we weren't very good. We just didn't have the players it took to make it. I didn't think, you know, looking back on it. The '96 came, but if you look at that cast of characters that was out there, you would have never thought that you could have won 90 games with the guys. Kevin Elster.
Yeah.
You know, Doug got him lightning in a bottle.
Yeah. Knocked in
24, 5 home runs, 9 RBIs. Of course, you had Pudge and Will, but you had a rookie out there, basically a rookie, a third-year guy, and myself. Darrell Hamilton, who was a good center fielder, but not
elite.
Not an elite guy.
Right.
But the thing about that team is, and I said it yesterday, I'll say it forever, is that it was a team night in and night out.
Sure.
I'm talking about on the field, off the field, on the bus rides, on the plane rides. It was a team, and we played as a unit. We had fun together, and that's why that team won. And two, the injury bug didn't get us. We used 5 starters all year long.
Yeah, that's amazing.
5 starters.
How about your manager?
Manager was
Johnny Oates.
He was Johnny. He knew when to snatch the reins and when to let the reins go, boy. And he let the players run the clubhouse. His veteran guys literally ran that clubhouse. And when he had to step in, you knew it was bad. Or he had something he had to say.
Right. Sure.
And outside of that, you didn't see him. He didn't say a word. And he expected those guys to handle things, and they did. Will and Mickey Tettleton and all those guys.
Beltre taken outside for ball 1. Adrian 0 for 1, a ground ball to third.
I don't know if you had time to tell it with 2 outs, but a lot of people talked about Dave Valley and the meeting that he had in Detroit. Was that as meaningful as the lore goes?
You hear all the time we're having a team meeting. Best team meeting ever. Dave Valley held in Toronto. And called everybody out. Are you in or are you out? Are you in or out? He went around and called out Johnny Oates and Jerry Nairn and everybody. And because we had been playing like garbage. And Johnny actually turned the food table over in Detroit. We went to Toronto, and Dave had that meeting. And after that meeting, we started playing, and we went on fire. And if you're around, I mean, you remember that.
Sure.
We were on fire, and we played. And it was the best player-held meeting, and nobody talked but Dave.
Wow.
It wasn't like Johnny Oates stood up and talked. Dave Valley was the only one to talk.
It's not like he's an all-star player.
And he's not an all-star. Yeah, he's a backup catcher. He's getting 40, 50 at bats because players playing 145 or 50 games a year.
Yeah.
And he was the only person that talked, and he went around and said, are you in or you out? Or I forgot exactly what he said, but to everybody, trainers, everybody. And then we took the field and we started winning.
Wow.
The right field. That's going to stay in the ballpark, though, as Kane is back there. 3 up, 3 down. That'll do it for 4. Rusty, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. Great to see you.
Thank you, guys.
Don't be a stranger. Come on by here.
I'll try not to.
Check this out now. You got to see it one more time.
Here we go.
Oh, right about there. You know what's going to happen, right?
I knew I better catch it. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Rusty.
Thanks.
The top of the 5th has arrived, and a 1-1 ball game as Nick Tepesch back out to the hill. And Tepesch will face Josh Willingham, Mike Moustakas, and Eric Kratz here in the 5th. Moustakas takes high for ball 1. Joining us now, our nightly guest from Rangers Live, Mark McLemore. Mac, thanks for coming out.
Always a pleasure.
Good to see you. Had a couple of your cohorts, Ambassador Tom Schieffer up here, the newest member of the Rangers Baseball Hall of Fame, and Rusty Greer, former teammate of yours.
Incredible, great people. Tough act to follow for me.
No, you're doing good so far.
I'll be even better when we score some runs.
Yeah.
All right, next half. Next half.
This, although actually, I'm kind of liking this the way the pitch is going.
I bet. Yeah, there are way too many guys over there in both benches right now that aren't too thrilled.
Yeah. They'll get over it. Gotta like what Nick Tepesch is doing. He had a couple of double plays behind him, only giving up 3 hits. And he misses inside for ball 4. Leadoff walk to Willingham. That's not exactly what Nick had in mind to start off the 5th inning. That's the first walk allowed by the Ranger right-hander. Now Mike Moustakas. Well, folks, the month of September is full of exciting giveaways. And on Saturday, September 6th, Rangers are going to celebrate Star Wars Night. First 15,000 fans will get an R2-D2 beanie hat. That's courtesy of Chicken Express. You can get your tickets at TexasRangers.com, or if you prefer, you can call 972-RANGERS. I'm gonna make sure and get one of those. R2-D2 is one of my favorite. He's my favorite droid for sure. I know that. Moustakas a ground ball to second. His first time up there. Willingham, not much of a base stealing threat. 1 ball and 1 strike now. This Kansas City club all of a sudden caught fire about a month ago, 29 games ago. What happens to a club when that ignites and you feel it going?
You know, I think it really excites everybody. And, I was actually talking to Ned Yost yesterday. He was basically telling me that, some of the additions they made, Raul Ibanez, Josh Willingham, Frazier out in the bullpen have made a tremendous contribution just in their leadership. They've got a lot of young talent that's here, obviously, and bringing those guys in has definitely helped that talent. They're showing them different things. They're asking questions, and it's all coming out on the field. And when those guys got over here, that's pretty much when they started playing well. So all of it seems to be coming together for them.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's one of the things we tend to look past, I guess, in addition that can have a big impact on the psyche of the entire ball club. I mean, not in addition, because if you add obviously a #1 pitcher or something along, a superstar, but just an ordinary player on the outside, and all of a sudden he has a great impact on the rest of the ball club.
Yeah, a lot of times that's what it is. It's not necessarily that superstar player that ignites a team. Yeah, there's some teams that have that, but even on those teams, there are guys that are everyday players that may not be the superstar that are probably as important, if not more important, to the core of that ball club than that superstar guy that's out there on that team. And, I've always, said that in baseball, it's different than the other sports. You don't have a superstar. That superstar is typically not the leader of that team.
Right.
So they're too busy putting up those superstar numbers. They don't really have the time or the energy to see that guy down there on the end of the bench who's 0 for 20 and go down there and pat him on the back. Hey, don't worry about it. We need your glove. They're not that guy that does that. It's typically somewhere else or someone else on that club that does that. And not just one. It's usually 2 or 3 guys that are able to do that. So everybody's important. The other sports, yeah, they have that. Football, it's the quarterback. He's the leader. That's just it. No matter who you are, you're the leader. Basketball, it's the highest paid player on the team. The best player on the team is thrust into that leadership. Baseball's just not like that. So
it's funny you would say that, because we just had Rusty up here and we were talking to him about the clubhouse meeting in Toronto that Dave Valley had.
Exactly.
And he was saying the backup catcher had 50 at bats, and that for that moment he was the leader of your team.
Absolutely, and that's exactly what it is. It's typically not that superstar guy. It's somebody else on the team that has that voice.
Just by the outstretched glove of Rougned Odor into right field. So the leadoff walk, and boy, it seems like it always happens. That's followed by a base hit. And now the Royals have runners at first and second, and nobody out, with Eric Kratz coming up.
Well, Nick has been able to get a couple of double plays in the game, and almost has another one. If the ball's hit a little bit more to the left, it's hit hard. It would have been an easy opportunity for Rougned and Elvis to turn another one, but that one was pulled enough to go into right field.
Then we'll see if Kratz is up there in a bunting situation. See what Ned Yost decides to do. The Rangers going to play the corner men up even with the bags, with Aaron Sebia and Beltre at third and first respectively. Adrian at third will play a little bit side saddle down there, so he can keep an eye on the runner at second. That's Willingham, and also be able to see what's happening with the pitch. No bunt here, and a rip and a miss by Kratz. Kratz at 227 with the average. The 34-year-old veteran backstop, and that pitch is bunted at but fouled straight down. So Ned Yost gave him one opportunity to swing the bat and then put the sacrifice on, and neither was successful. It would be 0-2.
And the first time Nick gave him a pretty good dose of sliders away, and 0-2 after striking him out once that way, and with a kind of a situation where you'd love to get a strikeout, might get a pretty good chance to see if he can hit that pitch for a second time.
Moustakas at first. He is trailing Willingham at second. The 0-2 pitch got him swinging. Well, he gave him the opportunity, and Kratz took advantage of it. Swung at both of them and missed.
Another good hard slider, exactly where he tried to throw it.
2 strikeouts. They have both been Kratz. Get a good look at our super slow-mo on that, on the spin of that ball. That's that slider spin. A 1 gone, and now Lorenzo Cain, the number 8 hitter, will step in. Cain had an infield single his first time up. Difficult guy to double up. He is a speedy center fielder, right fielder. And he takes low for ball 1. Mac, back to what you were talking about, though, with the leadership quality and stuff. We talk about learning how to win a lot. We use that phrase a lot. How much of a part is the meeting type thing, or that moment when you realize what's going on? How big a part of that is learning how to win? It goes into learning how to win.
It's a huge part of it. You know, being able to recognize, you know, at what point of the game is very important, and you really have to execute your pitches. Like right now, this could be a turning point of the game. He's got to go out there and execute pitches. Realizing that and not thinking or looking at it as, hey, this is another inning and going on, but no, hey, this, I've really got to bear down. I've got to get this done. When Kratz was up there, turning point in the ball game on the offensive side, it was really important that he got that bunt down, because that could be a turning point in the game. So realizing those different situations, having guys around you that have been through it to recognize those, so when they call that meeting, have that talk, you understand what they're talking about. And you go out there on the field, you recognize it, and when you're in that position, you're making sure that you bear down and execute whatever it is, whether you're on the offensive side or the defensive side.
And ball 4. 2 walks in the inning, a base hit along one side, and all of a sudden the bases are loaded with 1 out. Alcides Escobar coming up. Before he does, though, Mike Maddox on his way to the mound. Well, we have a second here. This August, Metro PCS is giving your child a chance to take pitcher Martin Perez to school. Log on to MetroPCSTakeAPlayer.com for your chance to win. Metro PCS, wireless for all. Just because Martin Perez is on the DL doesn't mean he can't go to school. He will. He'll be there. Well, the conference concluded. And now Nick Tepesch will go back to work against Alcides Escobar. Escobar fouled out down the right field line. Alex Rios running it down right in the corner. Rangers, the middle of the field, playing a double play depth. Elvis and Rubned. On the fist, Beltre coming home. They get 1, and that's all they'll get. That ball simply not hit sharply. And plus, Escobar really runs well, but Beltre, recognizing the situation quickly, need to throw home to get that lead man.
That's a case of knowing what to do when you get the ball. Hard hit ball, he turned 2. Slow hit ball with a fast runner, he's making sure he gets 1. Can't wait to find out what happens and then think what you're going to do with it. He knew exactly what he was going to do. Good pitch by Nick, too. He got that ball way in on Escobar, jammed him. Just didn't hit it hard enough to get a double play.
So 2 very big outs, and now you have to deal with Gerard Dyson, the leadoff hitter. Dyson has grounded out twice tonight, once into a double play. And the first pitch is low for ball 1. Dyson at 284 with the average, and 19 RBIs, and he is a little bit more than a part-time player. He and Nori Aoki switching spots tonight, tying outside, and now Tepesch working himself into a pretty rough spot here. 2 balls, no strikes to count. We got Moustakas at third, Kane at second, and Escobar at first. A 1-1 ball game. Nick trying to keep it that way. A high set, the 2-1 or 2-0 is low. 3 balls and no strikes. Dyson up there, and I don't believe he would swing at either of the next 2 pitches.
You wouldn't think so. This kind of came out of nowhere through 4 innings. Nick was pretty much pinpointing his pitches, came out, walked the leadoff hitter, and now is on the verge of walking in a run.
This is his 3rd 3-ball count in this inning. This is 6th hitter. And he missed high. That's going to force in a run as Dyson takes the 4-pitch walk. Down the line to score is Moustakas. And it's a 2-1 Kansas City lead. The third walk of the inning issued by Nick Tepesh. Now he's got to face Omar Infante, who has been on an RBI tear this year. The team leader with 57 of them. He's had 4 RBI games already. This is a guy you don't think about as being your big run producer, but he certainly has for the Royals. And a breaking ball is in from Tepesh for strike one. Infante has popped out and grounded out. A lot of speed on the base paths for Kansas City. We got Kane, Escobar, and Dyson, the 3 top runners on the Royals club. Infante chopping that off his front leg.
Yeah, that was a pitch that didn't go very well for Infante. Pitch wasn't a strike. Way inside. Strike 2, and you get drilled by it. Not much good happened here. That hit above, right in the shin.
That's going to hurt for a while.
I don't think I ever got hit there. Got hit in the knee, got hit in the ankle, but I never got hit in the shin.
I still have a couple of lumps from shin balls. not very often, thank goodness. Fortunately, I wasn't that, I wasn't that pull guy. It's typically the guys that pull the ball a lot that foul balls off their feet and ankles and shins and knees, and that wasn't me, thank God.
I had the knack of swinging and missing often to avoid that kind of thing.
Left center field on the run is Martin. He can't get it. It's down for a hit. 1 run is home. Sliding in safely with the second run is Escobar. And a 2-run single by Infante makes it a 4-1 Kansas City lead.
Well, you don't even have to really say much about this inning other than when you walk 3 guys, bad things can happen. You got that slider up. You saw the one that he struck out Kratz with that was down and away. This one is right in the middle of the plate. 0-2, exactly what he didn't want to do in that situation. And Infante got the hit on a pitch that's pretty much what he should have done with it. Hit it hard somewhere.
Runners at first and third now. 3 runs in the inning. Alex Gordon drives one to left field. Going back is a Ducey, puts the brakes on and makes the catch. That'll do it. But the Royals come up with 3 runs on just 2 hits and 3 walks. Halfway through the game, the Royals 4, the Rangers 1. The Royals put 3 on the board in the top of the 5th. Rangers will try and counter in the bottom. Our Coors Light cold hard fact of the inning brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. Tom Schiefer, the 6th inductee into the Rangers Hall of Fame for his contributions to the franchise in a non-playing capacity. Joining Johnny Oates, Tom Vandergriff, Mark Holtz, Tom Grieve, and Eric Nadel in that category. Very distinguished gentleman on that list. Jonas Martin loops one into center field. That's going to fall for a base hit. Well, Martin aboard with the 2nd base hit for the Rangers tonight. Now let's take time here for a Mazda game break. Here's Aaron Harding.
All right, guys. Tigers and Twins playing a doubleheader in Minneapolis. Minnesota won game 1, 12-4. And in the second game, Trevor Fluke gets the 2-run double here off Justin Verlander. That made it 4-2 Twins. Still 4-2 mid-4th. Twins with the lead, guys. Tigers, if you remember, 3 games back of KC in the standings, guys.
All right, Aaron, thank you. Well, how about the Tigers? They are just shooting themselves in the foot every time they get a chance.
The harder they tried to put the team on the field that could win, the worse it got for them. Every trade they made, not necessarily because of the guy they got, but it just has not worked for them.
Pitch to Aaron Sebia to center field. Dyson to his left makes the grab back to first. Goes Leonis Martin, 1 out. And it will bring up Jim Ducey. Well, let's take a look at the DirecTV standings for you. The American League Central, we've been talking about that. DirecTV will show you that these Kansas City Royals on top now by 3 full games over the Tigers after the Tigers lost the first game of that doubleheader. And, of course, the Tigers behind in the second game. Cleveland catching up with Detroit. Cleveland falling on hard times. They've been able to stay around 500, and it's hard to figure that they're going to be able to do much better than that in the near future. You've got people going down right and left. There goes Martin. Throw to second, and he is out at second base. How good a throw from his knees is that for Eric Kratz?
I'll say. Wow. Salvador Perez couldn't have done it any better than that.
Perfect throw. Perfect pitch, perfect throw, perfect tag.
You couldn't walk out there and hand it to the shortstop any better spot.
You know, as a base stealer, that doesn't make you feel good. It really doesn't. You know, typically, you don't have many guys that can throw from the
right.
one, and then when they throw you out, there's one there. And he never did it.
Looper base hit for Jim Aducey. That snaps an 0 for 26. And maybe that's the one that'll get him going now.
Well, he's hit a lot of balls harder than that have been caught, so he was definitely due for one to fall in. You're right, Buzz. Maybe that will open up the floodgates for him.
Well, it always starts with one.
Not a bad pitch by Guthrie either. No, 1 on 2 out. And Robinson Chirinos lofts one out of play down the right side. And the count moves to 0-1. Yeah, I would think as a base runner, if you're a base stealer and you get thrown out by a guy on his knees, you might catch a little flack when you get back to the bench.
Oh,
after you cooled off a little bit.
Oh yeah, the first time I got thrown out from catcher on his knees, I didn't believe the guys. I really didn't. I was in winter ball in Puerto Rico, and Benito Santiago threw me out from his knees.
I remember him.
Oh yeah, you remember that?
That really wasn't that bad to get thrown out by him.
It was, because I hadn't started to slide yet. I thought it was a pitch out or something. They were like, no, he was on his knees. I was like, what? No.
I could have stolen the base with that jump.
Yeah.
I looked up. When did he start running?
Jeremy Guthrie went into a hesitation. Looked like one of the Japanese pitchers going up. And watch this hesitation right there.
Oh, yeah. That's not going to give the catcher much time, even if he does throw from his knees.
Hard hit, backhanded by Infante, and on to first. That'll do it. Well, the Rangers caught stealing a couple of hard-hit balls, go for naught. And we have finished 5. It is 4-1 Kansas City.
Royals, Rangers, tomorrow on Fox Sports Southwest.
Welcome back to Globe Life Park. Buzz and Tom, the Fox Sports Fan Express, rolled in this evening from the great town of Texarkana, and plenty of big-time Ranger fans having a nice time here at the ballpark. How long was that ride from Texarkana here to
About
Arlington?
3 hours.
3 hours, not bad. Did you have a good time, buddy?
Yes, sir.
All right, what was your favorite thing on the bus?
The movie.
Movie, what'd you watch?
Rookie of the Year.
All right, good movie right there. We got a birthday. All right, what's your name?
Lisa Collins.
All right, happy birthday. Enjoy the Ranger game, guys. Good to have you out here. Appreciate it. Buzz?
All right, Jen, thank you. Well, a happy group from Texarkana. Get the rally caps on here a little bit early. The Rangers need a little help tonight. Trailing 4-1 as we head to the top of the 6th inning. There you go. He's having a great time out at the ballpark. There's one of those ones that Tom Schiefer was talking about, making a memory out here.
Definitely.
Billy Butler leading off for the Royals here in the 6th inning. Butler tonight is 0 for 2. He's flied out and grounded into a double play. High and tight. And the count evens at a ball and a strike. Nick Tepesch, since last inning, has come out and not been able to get the ball down and on the first base side of home plate. Getting his body way out in front. And I'm sure Mike Maddox talked to him about it, but sometimes you get into a mechanical rut like that. No matter what you do, it doesn't help it on that night. It's almost one of the deals you have to work in between starts and work it back out. Hitters have those kind of things, Matt, where you
absolutely
get into a bad rut mechanically and just can't do anything to change it.
Absolutely. You know exactly what you're doing wrong. You know the remedy. You just can't do it from at bat to at bat. You've got to come in early the next day or stay late that night and try and work it out then. I know that was the case for me a lot.
No, it happens to everybody. It's also one of the things that makes it so very frustrating. One gone as Butler is now twice grounded sharply to second, but he is 0 for 3, and Josh Willingham steps to the plate 0 for 1 with a walk. 1 ball, no strikes. Mentioned Willingham coming over from the Twins. Been a big addition for the Royals ball club, provided some right-handed power for him. 1 ball, 1 strike. Willingham, a 35-year-old veteran, hits this ball hard, but another veteran down there at third, Adrian Beltre. Vacuumed that up, and that is out number 2. Mac, we had a couple of plays by Rougned Odor earlier in the game. And take a look at these and tell us what you think.
Well, this one he's going to his right. Very difficult throw, especially with the speedy Dyson getting down the line. But Ruby's worked on this play, and it looks as though he's perfected it. He was having a little bit of trouble early in the season making that play, going to his right and having to throw completely across his body. And, you know, one of the things he looked like he was doing there was opening up his hips and getting a much easier throw to first base. A lot of times you'll see a second baseman going in that direction, try and just whip it with his arm. And that's when you have trouble being consistent, and being able to hit that target. So the first thing you've got to do is open those hips, and then you can use that arm and pretty much place it wherever you want to. So we've definitely seen some improvement from Odor.
On-the-job training is what he's got going at the big league level. It's nothing more difficult, I wouldn't think.
It's really not. I mean, you know, if you don't make that play, then, you know, it's a play you should make as a major league second baseman. But if you don't make it, it doesn't look so good. Yeah. You know, and I like the fact that he's improving day to day, and he's eager to improve. He wants to work on it. He'll ask Washer or Bogart questions to try and get better each and every day. So I like how he goes about his business.
They were out working today on something that Tom wasn't there, but you and I saw in Miami, the double plays that Rougned turned twice in a row where he pulled the ball to the outfield side of first base through in the camera bay. And both Tim and Ron were out there working today trying to straighten the throw out. With room in straightaway center field, the Leonis Martin runs it down. A long out for Moustakas. Looking to carry that over as we head on to the bottom of the 6th. Still 4-1 Kansas City.
This copyrighted broadcast is presented by authority of Rangers Baseball, LLC, and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rangers Baseball, LLC.
It's time now for the Sonic Slam Inning, brought to you by Sonic. Tonight's jackpot is worth $1,100 and dinner for 2 at Sonic Drive-In. Tonight, the Rangers are hitting for Tish Sechrist from Dallas. And if a Ranger hits a grand slam this inning, Tish Sechrist from Dallas will win $25,000. You can register at any participating Sonic restaurant. Rougned Odor, the man about whom we were just speaking, leading things off. Odor, Chu, and Andrews here in the Rangers' 6th inning. Jeremy Guthrie has been very solid through the first 5. Just the leadoff home run by Chu in the 1st inning. And then a couple of base hits in the 5th, but no damage from those. 4-1 he leads. Odor will pop out to short his first time. Takes that strike on the inner corner. It's 1-2. Chevy pitch tracker showing you that last one just nibbling at the top of the strike zone. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Guthrie gave up a home run to Chu on the first pitch of the game. Since then, 2 blue hits in the 5th inning. That's it. Throwing a lot of strikes, working quickly, and not using a lot of pitches to do it.
Well, he's gone to a full count, one of the few that he has had tonight. Odor trying to get aboard to start things off. Chu to follow. This is his second full count. The payoff pitch. Hit hard, but 1 hop off the mound right to Escobar. Goodness. That thing was smoked, and Rugden has nothing to show for it.
They hit that ball harder than it looked because it actually slowed down a little bit and popped up in the air, but if that hit flat ground, it might have shot right into center field.
One very sharply hit ground out. Now Shin-Soo Chu is homered and struck out tonight. 0-1 the count. Chu showing some signs of life offensively. Starting to get things back in order, and slowly but surely getting his swing back. There's a roller down to first that Butler will take to the bag, and that is out number 2. I think I'll hang on to tell you specifically about how things have turned around for Chu until he gets a base hit. I don't want to jinx it for next time.
That was bad timing, Buzz.
Bad time. My timing has never been very good.
Should have done that on the first pitch of the game. He hit the home run so quick he didn't have time to do it.
Can we rewind this whole thing? I'll get it in there.
That kills me when that happens. It happens all the time, too. You got a nice thought and, oops, wish I didn't say that.
Hey, it's not easy to step on yourself all over the place.
Oh, yes, it is. We do it all the time. That's easy.
Here's Elvis. He takes strike 1. Twice tonight, Elvis has grounded out to the third baseman, Moustakas.
I had to say that before Dave Burchett said that in my ear. I knew it was coming.
Got a whole truck full of comedians most of the time, you know.
I like to beat him to the punch.
Guthrie back to the plate. And a chopper foul. Well, Guthrie coming off a year last year in which he set a career high with victories for Kansas City. He had 15 of them. Another pitch to Elvis is just a little bit wide. He was 15-12 last year, with an ERA right at 4. Rangers have seen him and started out in Cleveland, went to Baltimore for a number of years, and Colorado once. And Elvis pokes one to right field. That's a base hit.
It looked like Adrian Beltre on that swing, reaching down for that and lining it into right field.
Well, the 4th Ranger hit of the night has Elvis aboard with 2 outs. Alex Rios, a couple of fly balls this evening, will be next. Billy Butler and Elvis chatting it up at first base. Rios, a fly to right, a fly to center, and he takes a strike here. Guthrie sets and tries the breaking ball. He couldn't get a swing from Rios. A ball and a strike. Season average at 284 for Alex. Guthrie back to him. And 2-1 now. Andrews getting the lead at first as Guthrie checks him. And throw that way.
Whoa.
Boy, almost. That was a perfect throw from Guthrie. A little bit off the bag and down. And Billy Butler almost able to slap that tag on. Two balls and a strike. There goes Elvis. The pitch is a strike. The throw to second is not in time. And Infante wants Ned Yost to come out and challenge that. He thought he had that tag down on Elvis's arm before the hand got in there.
Looked like he did from up here. But we're a long way away.
Ned Yost standing at the top step of that dugout, waiting for the review people, the video people, to tell him what to do. And he's going to go out there and probably issue the challenge on this play.
I don't know. What do you think?
Pretty tough to tell.
Yeah, that's pretty close there. There it looks like he got in there.
Yeah.
I think he did too. See an angle where his foot's not in the way. Tags on there. And
hands on there.
No, doesn't seem like it's one that they could reverse.
Yeah, the important thing is the call on the field is safe. So we're going to have clear and convincing evidence for the folks at the replay command center to overturn that.
Well, you got 3 safes up here. That was worth anything.
And the folks here at Globe Live watching the big board, they're seeing the replay of it, and the umpires are checking it out too. They're seeing the same things back in New York that everybody here in the ballpark is looking at up on the big board here at Globe Live Park. One more time. Boy, that is great camera work right there. Hard to tell when it's contact is made somewhere between
right there. If he's making contact right there, he's not on the base yet. That might have been the definitive one right there.
And the crew chief, Hunter Windelstadt,
can't be reversed. Good.
The call stands. What that means is there was not enough evidence, clear and convincing evidence to overturn the call. So the call stands. And at the same time, there was no clear and convincing evidence the call was correct either. But it was a call on the field, and that's the way it's going to stand. So Elvis in scoring position after a 1:30 delay for the review process. And the next pitch to Rios is low and inside. The count is now full. Well, Alex trying to get aboard. If he does, then Adrian Beltre would come up as the tying run in this game. Guthrie, a belt high set, the payoff pitch. Come back and try it again. Elvis back to second. Stolen base, by the way, is 23rd of the year. Well, he has retaken the lead on the Ranger Club. He and Leonis Martin were tied at 22. Jeremy Guthrie, the Oregonian. Set now, and Alex not ready, so he asked for time. Now everybody's ready. And Guthrie to the plate. The right field. Lorenzo Cain drifting a step or two to his right. Puts it away, and that'll do it. Rangers get a 2-out single and a stolen base from Andrews, but stranded. We're going to the 7th. It's 4-1 Kansas City. And Matt, thanks for joining us. We'll see you after the game on Rangers Live. All right. Texas Rangers baseball on Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. The Ford Summer Spectacular Sales Event, now playing at a Ford dealer near you. And our Ford game summary tonight. Started off a very well-pitched ball game, still is, for 4-1. Kansas City breaking through in the 5th inning, scoring 3, and a lot on the 3 walks that were issued by Nick Tepesch in that frame. Leading off the 7th inning, solid base hit to left field for Eric Kratz. So he loves swinging at the first pitch and has success this time after striking out the first 2 times.
I think what we saw the first 2 times is if you throw him a slider down and away, you've got a pretty good chance to make him miss it. And what you have to concentrate on the first pitch is don't throw it in the strike zone where you can get the bat on it.
Alex Claudio, young left-hander out there in the Ranger bullpen. 1 on, nobody out. Lorenzo Cain is the hitter. Cain has had an infield single and walked. He was one of the 3 walks issued in that 5th inning by Nick Tepesch, and Nick drops in a breaking ball for strike 1. Kansas City now 4 runs on 6 hits. Rangers 1 run on 4 hits. But over the leap of Elvis into center field, a base hit. Now, Cain didn't exactly blister it, but he had just enough on it to get it over Elvis's reach. 2 on with nobody out for Alcides Escobar. Out to the mound. You see just how much that missed Elvis's glove by, just by that much. What a great effort. No, first and second, nobody out. Alcides Escobar, the hitter, and the Rangers setting up the proper bunt defense for the speedy shortstop. Beltre in front of the cut of the grass this time. Pierre and Sevilla in a similar fashion down at first. Got Kratz and Cain at second and first. Escobar is going to bunt, and it's a good one. Beltre, instead of letting it roll foul, he knows that that line down there, the ball doesn't always curve back into foul territory. And Adrian having to make the snap decision, ended up getting the runner Escobar at first on the sacrifice. So second and third, and that's going to do it for Nick Tepesch.
If you're going to bunt on a sacrifice with men on first and second, there's where you bunt it. Bunt it to third base. Make him field it. That looked like it was coming back, Buzz.
Sure did. Well, that's going to do it for Nick Tepesch. He goes 6 1/3 here tonight. He will give way to Alex Claudio with runners at second and third and 1 out. Rod Dyson, the leadoff man, will be coming to the plate. We'll tell you about Alex Claudio when we come back. A timeout here at Globe Life Park with the Royals leading 4-1. Our AT&T U-Verse Rewind, and all this happened prior to tonight's game. Tom Schaefer inducted into the Texas Rangers Baseball Hall of Fame, the 17th member to be so honored. And Tom and his family, a great evening for all of them. And I hope you folks heard our visit with the ambassador. Great man, really the father of this ballpark.
No doubt about it. You know, that was a very nice ceremony today. Everything went great. He's such an eloquent speaker. He was tremendous at the luncheon yesterday, and his speech today was great as well.
Sure was.
You can just tell, talking about it 20 years later, the passion that he has still for this ballpark and what it meant to him to be the driving force behind it.
Dyson laying off both those 2 sweeping breaking balls from Claudio. The count moves to 2-0. Rod Dyson walked with the bases loaded his last time up. That was his 20th RBI of the year. Up here with runners at second and third, just 1 out. Ranger infield pulled all the way in. And he takes a sinking fastball to make it 2-1. Every Ranger at the cut of the grass, shading maybe a slight step around to the right side for the left-handed hitting Gerard Dyson. 2-1 pitch coming from Claudio. Out 2-2.
That's a big situation for Alex to come into. Still a close ball game. game's kind of on the line right here if you can pitch your way out of this jam. At least get this batter. I don't know if you get a chance to pitch to the next one, but get this lefty right here. Pressure manager.
2-2 pitch. Base hit to center field. One run is home. Here comes the throw from Leonis Martin. The slide is safe. In under the tag, Lorenzo Cain. And Gerard Dyson with a 2-run single makes it a 6-1 Kansas City lead.
Well, he got the second strike, and Dyson that time got the fastball and drilled it up the middle. Nice job of hitting. Great throw from Martin. And they're going to take a look at it. I guess they're going to take a look at it.
Yep.
Beautiful throw. And some of the throws he's made have been strong like this recently, but they've been off the mark a little bit. This one was not only strong, it was right on the mark. You get a chance to see the strong throw, the one hop right on the base. Does he get his foot in there? I don't know. It looked like he might have slid over the base with his front foot. But then did he tag his back leg in time? Let's take a look.
You get a good angle from it here. Hunter Windelstedt making the call. Yeah. And the opinion of the folks at the Replay Command Center in New York was that the call was correct. So it stands as a 2-run single for Gerard Dyson, and the Royals open up a 5-run lead.
It's kind of what the catcher is forced to do now, is you have to give the runner a path to the base. And he was going to be there in time anyway. In the old days, I guess if he could flop down right in front of the plate, like Mike Socha used to do with his shin guard and his foot, he might have been able to block the plate, but can't do that anymore.
Not until you get the ball.
Nope.
Yeah, there were catchers that set up camp.
Didn't matter.
Well, here's Omar Infante, who had a 2-run single himself last time up. Fouls it out of play down the right side, and the count moves to 0-1. So the book is closed on Nick Tepesch for the night. 6 1/3 innings, 7 hits, 6 runs. They were all earned. 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. And Gerard Dyson closing that book with the negative of driving in the last 2 runs. Dyson with very good speed at first, and a ground ball cut off by Beltre to Odor. Back to Arancibia. 5-4-3. Unfortunately, 1 hitter too late for the Rangers. The Royals score 2 on 3 hits and nobody left. It is 6-1 Kansas City. And let's join Chuck Morgan as he introduces God Bless America.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please rise as we pause to honor the men and women of armed services, both at home and around the world. Tonight, we invite you to join in singing God Bless America with Brent Kern.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the ocean wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Adrian Beltre starting off the bottom of the 7th inning. Royals now with a 6-1 lead over the Rangers. Rangers will have Beltre, Martin, and Arancibia to face Jeremy Guthrie.
Hey, Buzz, we've been talking about the great ceremony today, inducting Tom Schiefer into the Hall of Fame. There was a really nice ceremony yesterday, too, that I was a part of, honoring Joe Macco. Joe was a great minor league player in this area. He was a business manager for the Fort Worth Spurs. He worked in the front office for the Rangers, then became the equipment manager for the home team, then the visiting team, and it's like a father away from home for a lot of us as our equipment manager, a guy that so many players think the world of. And they had a nice unveiling of a plaque down in the hallway because he was the manager of both clubhouses. They put it right between the home clubhouse and the visiting clubhouse in honor of a lifetime of dedicated and exceptional service to the Texas Rangers organization. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy. Joe was able to be there. So were a lot of players, a lot of friends, a lot of family, and a lot of love going around at that ceremony yesterday. And it was well deserved for a great guy.
Yeah, Joe, well, as you well know, here from day one, and he was right on the ground floor of the Rangers move from Washington, and well, he made a lot of friends over all these years. Great man. Great ambassador to baseball.
Exactly. And when he had left the managing of the clubhouses, he became kind of exactly that, Buzz, a goodwill ambassador for the team. They start with a base hit by Adrian. He went around to schools and Rotary clubs and you name it, and he promoted Ranger baseball, and he talked to the kids, he talked to the fans, and he was one of the faces of Ranger baseball.
Well, Adrian Beltre with the base hit. We'll take a look at the Ford leaderboard. Longest hitting streaks against Kansas City, and Pudge Rodriguez still owns the record at 23 games. So Adrian moving up. That is now 16 straight games for Beltre against these Royals. A couple of guys could hit a little bit, Pudge and Adrian. Leonis Martin had a hit his last time up. He is 1 for 2 tonight. Martin on a pretty good run offensively. Has gotten things turned around the right way. It's going to 267 with the average as he takes a strike here to make it 2-1. Martin over his last 10 ball games now is hit just shy of 500. He is 16 for 34. And he pops this one up. Off with the mask is Kratz back at the screen, but the wind pushes that back and into the second row. Now it's 2-2. Remember with Leonis, before he started this most recent streak, had a negative streak. He was 0 for 12. Seen his batting average drop down below 250. And he's gotten it back in the right direction. Fouls the next pitch off, and the count remains even. The series concludes here tomorrow. Tomorrow afternoon, a 2 o'clock game. It'll be Jason Vargas on the hill for the Royals. Rangers have not decided who they're going to go with yet. Butler snares that, makes a throw down to second, now back to first. And the 3-6-3 double play erases Martin and Beltre. Billy Butler, after not coming in the right area code last night of a pop-up, has made a couple pretty good defensive plays at first base tonight.
He was in the right position, and the glove was on the right hand to make that play. Throw was a little low, but that's why you got the shortstop there to field it. Steps on the bag. Now they have to make the tag.
No, 2 outs now, base is empty, and it will be J.P. Arancibia with his third at bat. The Rangers talking about tomorrow's starter, leaning towards Scott Baker. They were waiting to make sure that they didn't have to use Scott Baker tonight. So just a wild guess. It has not been announced, but I would imagine that Scott would get the call tomorrow.
Well, it's only fitting that Scott takes the ball at the last minute in any role. We talk about that all the time with him.
Maybe they're
won't bother him a bit.
Maybe they're holding off so that he doesn't know when he leaves here tonight.
Don't tell him till he gets here tomorrow.
Aaron Sebia drive hit deep down the left field line, but that's going to hook and go foul. Certainly home run depth. There's Scott. He's got a pretty good idea now that he's not down in the bullpen. That they can put him on the bench.
That's got to be a good sign right there for tomorrow.
In any event, probably be Baker and Jason Vargas. And the Rangers after tomorrow head out on a 10-game road trip. Seattle, Houston, and Kansas City. And another towering drive, and this one even further foul. 0-2 to JP.
Just got a little information from John Blake that he is definitely starting tomorrow. Thank you, John.
Appreciate that. So it will be Scott Baker tomorrow against Jason Vargas. 2 o'clock right here on Fox Sports Southwest. 1-2 pitch. Count evens to Aaron Sebia.
John is the one guy in this organization, if you need an answer, it doesn't matter what the question is, he's the guy you ask.
Yeah.
Yeah. History of the Rangers, rule, ask John.
And JP gone on strikes as Guthrie gives up a single, but the double play erases that. We have finished 7 at Globe Life Park. It's the Royals 6, the Rangers 1.
Well, welcome back to Globe Life Park. Buzz and Tom, time for the Progressive fan of the game. You got to give it to Kyle. Good old Baylor boy coming in for his bachelor party. Now, you could have gone anywhere, Kyle. Chunky Cheese, anywhere. Why here at the ballpark?
I could have, but there's no rather place. I'd rather be here with my best friends at a Texas Ranger baseball game. Other than McLean Stadium on the banks of the Brazos against SMU August 31st.
Oh, yeah, the big opener. All right. All right. You get married when?
December 20th.
All right. Any second thoughts?
As a matter of fact, Jim, no, there's not. Bailey Cap. Bailey Cap, I love you. I love you, Bailey Cap.
Had me thinking. All right, here's the shirt. Congratulations. Anything else, Kyle?
Bryce Petty, 2014 Heisman.
Oh, Dave Burchett's going to love that in the truck. All right, appreciate it, guys.
Jim Knox original. That's good. Alex Claudio out for the 8th inning to start things off, facing the left-handed hitting Alex Gordon. And the pitch outside, 2 balls, no strikes. Gordon tonight, a home run and a single, 2 for 3. 57 RBI. Is still trailing Omar Infante, who had a couple of RBI tonight also. 59 now for Infante. And Gordon flailing at that last pitch. Claudio ready. And fires a strike. Sneaking that fastball by him. 2-2. Pulled into right field. Rios on the dead run. Alex able to make up the ground and haul it in. Well, that is out number 1. Billy Butler will be next, and let's take time for a Mazda game break with Aaron Hardy.
Hey guys, let's go to a little AL West battle in Oakland tonight. Angels in a scoreless in the second when Sam Fuld singles to center. That would make it 1-0 Oakland. It is now currently, and he would get him there. Athletics still lead 1-0 and is now bottom 4th A's, guys.
All right, Aaron, thank you. Well, in the meantime, Ron Washington has gone to the mound. He wants the right-hander Roman Mendez to come on in. So Fox Claudio's night is finished. Mendez coming on. We'll take a timeout. We're back after this on Fox Sports Southwest. Folks, we'd like to invite you to watch Chevy Hometown Kids every Saturday morning at 10 o'clock right here on Fox Sports Southwest, where it's not about the score, it's about the experience. Yeah, good experience out here at the ballpark. A beautiful Saturday night. Roman Mendez, the new pitcher on the hill now for the Rangers. Mendez facing Billy Butler. Deals a belt-high strike.
And they continue to be fine numbers for Roman. This will be his 20th ball game. Great ERA, great opponent's batting average. He's been tough to hit. Mid-90s fastball and a good splitter.
He's starting to mix in that slider when he doesn't have the splitter going, where he doesn't have control.
Even better.
Yeah.
Give the hitter another thing to think about.
1 ball and 1 strike to Butler, who is 0 for 3 tonight.
There's a slider.
Yep.
Pretty good one, too.
So good that Butler couldn't pull the trigger. 2-1 now. Mendez back to the plate and misses high. 3 balls and a strike. Well, Butler, the cleanup man, trying to get aboard here with 1 out. Josh Willingham, the designated hitter, waits to be next. Royals leading 6-1. They've out-hit the Rangers 8-5. Mendez back to Butler. Towering fly ball to center field. He got under it just enough. It's very playable for Leonis Martin. 1 gone or 2 gone. Now, while we have a second here, how about we reveal our fan photo selection of the evening? This, of course, brought to you by the good folks at AT&T. And tonight's photo from Jennifer. Oh, that's Jennifer and beautiful Ranger cat fan. That's a great picture, Jennifer. Thank you very much. And for you folks that like to tweet your photo, it's hashtag Southwest Fan Photo. And we will select a photo every game that we have on Fox Sports Southwest. Josh Willingham 0 for 2 tonight. A couple of ground outs and a walk. Overall average at 224. Mendez with the 0-1 pitch. Royals basically got Willingham for a minor league pitcher, and that wasn't very high up the list at that point. Jason Adam.
That's one of those trades. You make the trade, you get the player that's got some kind of a chance. It's not going to be a top prospect, and from Minnesota's point of view, they save a couple of months worth of salary,
yeah.
So works for them too. They're not going anywhere. From Kansas City's point of view, you accept the salary, and you may get a key component to help you win the pennant.
One ball, 2 strikes.
And every now and then, one of those fringe prospects turns into be a good big leaguer. So you never know. That way, both teams win.
Yeah, the stories abound about players that were, having a so-so year. All of a sudden, they got traded to a contender for not very much, and got on fire, and really helped the club. The 2-2 pitch, and it's popped up. Wind pushing it over the Ranger dugout. It hits right on the roof and goes back into the seats. The count remains even. The Willingham certainly a power-laden right-handed hitter. Play a little bit of outfield. Play some first base. And obviously the DH. So I think the Royals figuring once they get Eric Hosmer back in the lineup, put Billy Butler back at the DH full-time, they'll have a very good utility type guy in Willingham. 3-2 now. If Willingham is able to extend this 8th inning, Mike Moustakas is in the on-deck circle for Kansas City. Torino's flashing the signs out. Mendez picks out one he wants. Payoff pitch coming to Willingham. Down to first base on the walk with 2 outs. Well, Mike Moustakas coming up, and folks, you know, we've been talking about it tonight, and really all this month. It's the 20th anniversary of Globe Life Park in Arlington. To celebrate, the Rangers are offering fans $19.94 prices for select tickets and concessions for the game against the Royals tomorrow afternoon. All adults 21 and older will receive a voucher good for a 16-ounce domestic draft beer at $19.94 prices of $3.50. Just head on over to TexasRangers.com/rollback and use the online coupon code 1994. Mendez missing low and inside. 2 balls and no strikes to Moustakas. Royal third baseman 1 for 3 tonight. Had a single and scored a run in the 5th inning. Other than that, is grounded out and flied out. Rangers going to a complete overshift against Moustakas. Takes a strike. Ellis Andrews good 5 or 6 steps on the first base side of second. Adrian Beltre, the only Ranger on the left side of the diamond. Rougned Odor playing the rover position out there in right. The 2-1 coming from Mendez. That thing had so much movement to it, almost got, I don't have any idea. That may have been a splitter that he just threw too hard.
It went sideways.
Yeah. Watch this thing. Watch Torino Saxon. Where'd that thing come from?
Well, you can bottle that one. I didn't know it's spinning like that.
I think it was a splitter.
Look at that thing.
That's
when he probably threw it by mistake. If he could throw it on purpose, it'd never get hit.
Looked like one of those wiffle balls. And this one skied to shallow slip. It's on the infield. Elvis is right there. And he makes the grab as Willingham ran by him and yelled at him a little bit. 1 left. We've played 7.5. It's the Royals 6 and the Rangers 1.
Welcome back to Globe Life Park here in Arlington, where your Texas Rangers trail the red-hot Royals 6-1, entering the bottom of the 8th. Jim Adduci due up for the Rangers to lead off this inning. Don't forget, following tonight's game, it's Rangers Live postgame presented by Esurance. Mark McLemore and Pudge Rodriguez will join me here at the desk to assess tonight's outing and look ahead to tomorrow's finale as Mark continues to dance behind the camera. And this character will touch also on Adrian Beltre's hit streak. Plus, we'll hit the clubhouse for Ron Washington's take on tonight. And Emily Jones, as always, will be working the clubhouse for player reaction. Buzz and Tom, it's after the game. It's Rangers Live post game presented by Esurance. I don't know what I'm going to do with these two. Help me.
If you ignore him, he might go away, but I doubt it. You never know.
That's the enthusiasm. That's the charisma Pudge had when he was a player.
That's right.
Just carries over into the broadcasting world.
Jim Adduci, as Aaron told you, leading off, and Adduci ahead of the count now. 3 balls and a strike. Jim, last time up, single. That broke an 0 for 26 that he'd been mired in. Guthrie to the wind, and the 3-1. That will fill the count. Guthrie tonight has not walked a hitter. He has struck out a pair. Allowed 1 run on 5 hits so far. Payoff pitch to Adduci. And we'll come back and try it again. Jim, a veteran of better than 9 years in minor league ball. Takes that high, and ball 4 puts him aboard. Adduci's been on the last 2 times he has come to the plate. A leadoff pass here. Robinson Torinos will step to the plate. Smiles all around at Globe Life Park. Chirinos, and a ground ball to short, a ground ball to second. 0 for 2. Currently hitting at .227. 0-1. Aaron Crow, hard-throwing right-hander in the Royals bullpen. Guthrie over the 100-pitch mark in this inning, and a line drive to left field. Gordon, a dive, and he comes up with it. Back to first, Ducey. Great play by the Gold Glove left fielder, Alex Gordon.
He's very agile out there. He came up as a third baseman. And you see him, we've seen him make this play against the Rangers a lot, so I'm sure he does it against everybody else, but he's very adept at that kind of a play. Laying out and making the ball go right in the middle of his glove. Watch the concentration on his eyes as he follows that ball right into his glove.
So 1 out on an outstanding play by Alex Gordon. Now Rougned Odor. Rougned tried to hit it down to Waxahachie. Odor pop out to short, a ground ball to short. You got a Ducey at first. The pitch inside to him. 1 ball and 1 strike. Rougned currently a .252 hitter. Every time called a ball got loose in the Ranger bullpen. Gerard Dyson, center fielder, had to go over and capture it. Meanwhile, Odor pondering the possible next pitch from Jeremy Guthrie. To second, return to first in time for the double play. Nicely turned, 4-6-3, and the Rangers' leadoff walk is erased. They're gone in the 8th inning. We're going to inning number 9 here at Globe Life Park. It remains Kansas City 6 and Texas 1.
We head to the top of the 9th here at Globe Life Park in Arlington. The Royals leading the Rangers by a score of 6-1. Neil Kotz on the mound for the Rangers as we get you ready for Game 3, the finale of this 3-game series against the Royals and this brief 3-game homestand for your Texas Rangers. It gets going tomorrow at 2 o'clock right here on Fox Sports Southwest. As the fellows mentioned, Scott Baker will take the hill for the Rangers. There are a couple of the principals involved in this one. The hot-hitting Lorenzo Cain with a .373 average versus these Rangers. And Elvis Andrus looking to continue to swing a hot bat. This preview brought to you by AT&T Uverse. Gentlemen.
All right, Ann, thank you. Well, Neil Kotz has come out of the bullpen to take over on the hill for the Rangers. Kotz with his 60th ball game of the year in there now. The opponent's batting average dropping down to 250 at the moment. Here in the 9th inning, he'll face the bottom third of the Kansas City order. Eric Kratz, Lorenzo Cain, and Alcides Escobar. The first pitch low and inside to Kratz. Kratz singled his last time up. That was in the 7th inning, and it was against the starter Nick Tepesch. Also struck out twice against Tepesch. 1-1. Nice shot from the first base side of Globe Life Park. Our RF camera roaming around the ballpark, giving you different views from different parts of the stadium. Little pop-up. Odor out toward the line and makes the catch. And Kratz is retired for out number 1. Folks, coming up on Thursday, September the 4th, Rangers come back from this next 10-game road trip and open a series against the Seattle Mariners. It's a 7:05 game, and the first 15,000 fans will receive a Shin-Soo bobblehead. Get your tickets for the first September giveaway at TexasRangers.com. 1 out here in the Top of the 9th inning. Lorenzo Cain has been aboard all 3 times that he has come up tonight. A pair of singles and a walk. He has scored twice. He has been right in the middle of the multiple run innings for the Royals. Walked and scored in the 5th inning. Singled and scored in the 7th. No swing. The appeal down to first base. Tony Bastard said no, he didn't go around. 2 balls, no strikes. And Cox fires a strike. It's 2-1. Cain, one of the building blocks, one of the young players that the Royals are counting on as they develop further in coming years. Cain, a fleet-footed center fielder that they imagine will be in the middle of the order at some point in his career, with great speed though and power potential. He lines this one to right field. Coming on is Alex Rios. He makes the grab for out number 2. Well, Lorenzo Cain retired for the first time tonight. Alex Rios takes care of his counterpart. And Alcides Escobar, the shortstop, will be next. Escobar 0 for 2 with a sacrifice bunt.
I was going to say, when you look at the numbers that Escobar has, they're very similar to the numbers that Elvis has, really. Same kind of offensive player. Escobar, a pretty good base stealer. 24 out of 27. Very effective base stealer.
The Royals, a lot of the Royals offense based on speed.
Yeah, effective speed. They've stolen 112 bases. They've only been thrown out 24 times. So they run a lot, but it's not carelessly, and the guys that do run are very adept at it. Not giving up a lot of outs on the bases, but they're taking a lot of extra bases.
Caught sets for the 0-2. Now a ball and 2 strikes. The Royals still leading the American League in swipes this year. Escobar waiting as Koch readies. And look out.
Neal got out of the way. Wow.
He was thinking about going after the ball, saw the business end of that bat cover, and he said, forget it. I'm getting out of here. Unfortunately, Elvis was there, and the Royals are gone 1-2-3 fashion. And Neal Cox checking his heartbeat right about now. Bottom of the 9th coming up. Rangers need 5 to get back in this ball game. It's 6-1 Kansas City. Texas Rangers baseball on Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find Southwest Airlines fares online only at southwest.com. By AT&T UVerse TV. Find out what's possible with AT&T. Call 1-800-PIC-ATT. Mobilizing your world. And by your Texas Ford dealers. The Ford Summer Spectacular Sales Event. Now playing at a Ford dealer near you. Now 6-1, the Royals leading. Rangers come to bat here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Aaron Crow facing Shin-Soo Choo, is leading things off.
Aaron Crow is on for Kansas City. 58th game. He's pitched in a lot of games and has a lot of decisions for a reliever. He's 6-1. The kid that was drafted at the top of the draft. I think with the expectation he would be a starting pitcher, he's kind of evolved into a solid setup guy with a good arm.
And Choo hits a 2-hopper down to Billy Butler at first. That is out number 1. Jimmy John's freaky fast delivery of the night. It came on the first pitch of the game to the Rangers. Shin-Soo Choo drove it out into the Royals bullpen off of Jeremy Guthrie. A freaky fast delivery by Shin-Soo and Jimmy Johns. And Chu grounds out to start this 9th inning. Now Elvis Andrus, who is 1 for 3, steps to the plate against Crow. A strike at the knees. Elvis had a single to right field in the 6th inning. Rangers have had just 5 base hits. Guthrie worked 8 innings, allowed those 5 hits, 1 earned run on Chu's home run, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. Now Aaron Crow missing outside evens the count. Elvis facing Crow, and Crow, a 27-year-old right-hander. He was on University of Missouri teams that had some pretty good pitching. Nick Tepesh in there. And Luke Hochever was there for a while, I think. Ron Washington and Tim Bogart trying to figure out a way to get to Crow here in the 9th inning. He was trailing 6-1. That's inside and low, and the count moves to 3 balls and a strike. Well, Elvis trying to get aboard. Rangers need some base runners. Alex Rios will follow Elvis. Little tapper, and Crow will throw out Elvis. Looked like a little indecision between Crow and Kraft, but Crow took charge, made the play. And there are 2 outs here in the 9th inning.
Crow took his time. He knew he had the time. He didn't rush it. Took his time, got his feet underneath him. Made sure he made an accurate throw.
Well, it's up to Alex Rios if the Rangers are to extend this game tonight. Rios 0 for 3. Takes ball 1. Alex has twice flied to right, once to center. Aaron Crow back to the plate. And misses with ball 2.
Happy birthday, big guy. Thanks for staying for the whole game. If you didn't stay for the whole game, we wouldn't have got you on for your birthday. We saw you a long time ago. We just wanted to see if you were going to stay for the whole game. You had to earn that birthday wish. There you go. Happy birthday.
3-0 the count to Alex Rios. And now 3-1. Crow gets the sign. The 3-1 pitch coming to Rios. Fouled back. Reminded that Max Scherzer was on that staff at Missouri.
They win any games?
No. If they didn't, there would be an investigation, I think. Crow with a payoff pitch. Ball 4. Rangers still have life as Rios coaches a 2-out walk from Aaron Crow, and it'll bring up Adrian Beltre. Beltre had the opposite field single leading off the Rangers' 7th inning. 1 for 3 tonight. And that average exactly where it began the evening at .323. Royals will not hold Rios at first, and Beltre with his 2nd straight 2-hit night here at home. Around to third goes Rios. Well, there is life in the Ranger offense. Runners at the corners for Leonis Martin.
Well, Adrian continues to maintain his batting average over .320. A couple of hits in his last 2 at-bats tonight. This one hit well into left center field. You
go back to 2011 when Beltre came over to the Rangers. since then, he has gone, let's see what it is now, 38 for 95 against Kansas City. Wow. Right at 400. Greg Holland, the closer for the Royals, up just in case. He's still a couple of base runners from having the situation here in the ninth be a save situation. Beltre is going to go ahead and take second as Martin takes a strike to make it 0-2. It's defensive indifference, allowing Beltre the extra 90 feet. Martin tonight 1 for 3. Had a single back in the 5th inning. Crow with the 0-2. And a base hit to right field. Rios will score. Beltre stops at third. Now he's going to come home as a throw goes into Infante, the second baseman. And it's a 2-run at bat for Leonis Martin. It's now a 6-3 Royals lead.
The second hit for Leonis tonight. And that, you know, the run, it's nice to get another run, but if the Rangers are going to tie this game or win this game, they're going to have to force Adrian around anyway. And from the Royals' perspective, it doesn't really make a whole lot of difference whether he's on third or whether he scores. They've got to get the hitter and definitely the guy that comes up after him.
Well, with 2 runners scoring on that play, it brings Ned Yost out of the Kansas City dugout to have a chat with Aaron Crow. And this would be a save situation had Yost decided to go to Greg Holland, as the Rangers do have the potential tying run in the on-deck circle. Adrian Beltre telling Robinson Chirinos, yeah, they threw the ball into second. I just kept going. Don't respect my speed. I've got to show them how fast I am.
May not have been a critical run, but if they're going to give it to me, I'm going to take it.
Sure. Now here's Aaron Sebia, who is 0 for 3 tonight. And Crow fires strike 1. Aaron Sebia has popped out, flied out, and struck out. Martin, the lead from first, the 0-1 pitch. That's high and tight. Aaron Sebia, a 174 average as he faces Crow. Right-hander with a belt high set. The straightaway center field, this one is going to be playable. And Gerard Dyson puts it away, and that will do it. So for the second consecutive night, the Royals defeat the Rangers by a 6-3 count. Aaron Crow bending in the 9th inning, but not breaking. Rangers come up with a couple of runs on 2 hits and a walk, and they strand 1. So the Royals make it 2 in a row over the Rangers. And Aaron and the guys, Mac and Pudge, will be back to wrap things up for you right after this on Fox Sports Southwest.
Shin-Soo each homer in the opening inning tonight, but it was a 3-run 5th and a 2-run 7th for KC that would steal the momentum, topping the Rangers by a final 6-1 here at Globe Life Park as we welcome you to the Captain Morgan Club. Aaron Hardigan now joined by my dynamic duo here, Mark McLemore and Pudge Rodriguez for Rangers Live, presented by Esurance. I gotta say, guys, you gotta give it to this Royals club. They are playing fantastic baseball as of late.
Yeah, they're playing some really good baseball, and one of the reasons that they're playing well is because they're taking advantage of mistakes that the opposition gives them. Tonight was another example of that. Nick Tepesh ran into some trouble in the 5th inning, made a few mistakes, and the Royals offense capitalized on it, and that's what makes a good ball club. When they get mistakes, they don't miss them.
As for you, what'd you see out there tonight, Pudge?
Well, you know, good game overall for the Royals. You know, what can I say? You know, good pitching, you know, and good hitting. You know, as a team effort, the whole overall team effort, and that's why they got the win.
All right, well, they now take a 2-0 lead into tomorrow's finale. That's our next telecast. Tomorrow's first pitch is set for 2:05, which means Rangers Live pregame will get you set at 1:30. For now, though, it's Rangers Live, the postgame edition, presented by Esurance, right after this quick final take.